recorded in the Bob Studios. It's the history of bad ideas.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the History of Bad Ideas, podcast number 9.
Number 9.
Bueller. Oh, sorry. I am Jason Brigger, and with me always...
Jeff now, and apparently Jason's not a Beatles fan because he didn't get my reference.
Can't stand the Beatles.
Boo.
What are you going to talk about next? Jimi Hendrix? Oh, God, here we go again. Sorry.
I did. Okay.
Everybody else in the 60s, they've had their time. Get over it.
Okay, well, moving right along.
Moving right along. Okay, with us in the studio this week is a returning guest, our first returning guest. And hopefully he's not as depressed as last time with his list.
Or as depressing.
Depressing. It's Jeff Morris. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing well. I don't think I was depressed last
Your
time. I think I was pretty excited the whole time to talk about my list.
Listener feedback about you, so I want to talk about that. But Morris is here. He's written the Supernatural books. We want to give a little quick plug for that, Jeff? Or Mr. Morris? Sorry, we're just going with Morris because we have too many Jeffs here.
Sure. I'm currently working on the Haunted Handbook series. I did Haunted Handbook Cincinnati, Haunted Handbook Nashville, Twin Cities, and Chicago. And I'm not sure what book I'm doing next, but hopefully there'll be a next one.
Ukraine? It's a very civil place right now.
Probably lots of ghosts there.
Okay, moving on. So Morris is in our studio. He's going to hang with us the whole time, and there you go. You got anything right now, Jeff?
Nope. I think we can move right along to
Shout-outs? We're going to do shout-outs a little bit differently this time.
We're actually going to shout them. No,
please don't. What we're going to do a little bit differently. We've got about 6 or 7 podcasts that we're good friends with on Twitter. We're at Twitter at Bad Ideas Podcast, so follow us. We're on Facebook at Bad Ideas. History of Bad Ideas, I think, on Facebook, isn't it?
History of Bad Ideas Podcast.
Yes, on Facebook, again. Follow us, or like our page. But like I said, through Twitter, we've become friends with a lot of different podcasts. We've had Green Up, which does video games. We got Graphic Novice, which is a new one that I found out. They do comic book reviews. I think the one guy had 40 on his pull list for the week.
Wow.
That's impressive.
That is impressive.
Or it might have been for the month. I don't even know, but it's still pretty impressive. But, I mean, there's a lot of different podcasts that we listen to. We've talked about last couple weeks. So instead of going through 6 different ones each week, we're going to do like 1 or 2 each week, give them some props. And then we'll also have all these guys listed on our Facebook page as well. And if you follow us on Twitter, we're always talking back and forth. So it's nothing personal if we don't get to your podcast this week. It's just we have a lot. So the first one is a new one that I became friends with is Attaboy Clarence. And I always liked the old-time radio shows that they used to do. And this podcast is basically dedicated to that. He had, I think the last one was about the old Sherlock Holmes radio shows.
Okay.
It's a very niche idea, but I think he's in UK. And like I said, it's great. I mean, he actually plays the whole radio episodes from 1930s, 40s, and I've always liked those. So it's got a neat little podcast. So Attaboy Clarence. And then the other one is Best of the Worst Podcast. Been our friends of the podcast for a while now. I think this week they just did, what was it? R.I.P.D. movie.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And they review the bad movies that we don't have the guts to sit through. I think they did Adam Sandler's one.
Yeah,
That's My Boy. Oh, you guys, more power to you. So check them out. It's Best of the Worst Podcast. And we may even have a little secret project with them that we'll talk about next couple weeks or so. But for everyone else, Green Up, Graphic Novice, everybody else, seriously, I mean, just take a look at our Facebook page and Twitter, and we'll get to new podcasts each week for shout-outs. So there you go. And then we got a new little thing this week. We've only done it one other time. We got Jeffification.
Yeah, there's too many F's in there. Jeffification.
Jeffification.
Yes.
That doesn't sound clean.
It's not supposed to, but...
So this is the part that Morris and I just sit back for about 2 minutes and drink beer, and Jeff now is just going to go ahead and rant. So take it away, Jeff.
This week the Jeffication is about the the patent trolling that is going on. If people are fans of podcasts, and if you're listening to this, I assume you are. There's somebody out there claiming that they have pretty much the rights to all podcasts because they have a patent on some electronic device that they created. Somehow they're claiming that gives them the right to pretty much own the entire podcasting industry. They started by suing Adam Carolla, and I think it's Mark Mahan. Mm-hmm. And Adam and Mark are not going to go away. They decided they're going to fight it. They're going to do everything they can to stop it because, as soon as one person goes in, they'll start going after everybody else.
Adam Carolla is probably the guy you don't want to go after.
No, yeah, I mean, it doesn't even matter what your opinion on Adam Carolla is. Mm-hmm. The fact that, he's supplying an entertainment content, if you listen to it or not, it doesn't give somebody who has a patent for an electronic device the right to say he owns your entertainment content. And that's pretty much what they're doing. It's a company, where did it go? I forgot the name of the company that's even suing them now.
If you go online, you can look at it too under the podcast communities.
Yeah, but he's currently, trying to crowdsource some for his legal defense. So they've got a Save Our Podcast Legal Defense Fund on Fund Anything.
And that's Adam Carolla.
That's Adam Carolla's doing this. So if you like podcasts and have some spare money that you wouldn't mind donating to try and keep them from being oppressed by the man.
Damn the man.
Damn the man. So I just want to rant against that and see if we can throw any support towards defending our rights.
There you go. Good job, Jeff. Next section is the listener feedback. Listener feedback. Still working on that one.
Yeah, still need a jingle or a theme for listener feedback.
If anybody would like to write us a jingle or a theme, free domain, send it on over to us at Bad Ideas Podcast or Bad Ideas Podcast on Twitter. Let us know. We're not above that. First one is for Mr. Morris over there, and Doug, #1 fan, asked if there is a sequel to the Serbian film that you discussed the last time you were here, because if so, he's not listening to this episode. So is there a sequel to it?
As far as I know, there is not a sequel.
Okay, good.
But again, if there is, do not watch it. Just like you should not watch the first one. We were just talking about disturbing moments in film, and that was the most disturbing moment in film.
No, it wasn't. It was number 3 on your list.
Yeah, it was like...
I'm a little scared.
It was one of the most disturbing moments in film.
I think you had, what, E.T. as number 2? Oh, no, sorry, that was just other Spielberg stuff.
that red dress. Stupid red dress in a black and white movie.
Won't let that go, will ya? Fucking red dress. Jeff's dying over there. I think Jeff's going to have a stroke. You're
all
right.
There. No, I'm fine. All right, so...
Doug also asks, what are our views of the Watchmen movie versus the graphic novel? Did you see Watchmen, Morris?
I did see Watchmen. I've never read the graphic novel.
Okay. What did you think of the movie?
I liked the movie. I thought it was...
Okay.
I liked most of the movie.
Okay.
It was a good movie. It was better than most movies that are out there. It got kind of... cartoony, I thought.
At the end?
It is based on a comic book, though. But
before that, it wasn't really cartoony.
Okay.
It was dark and like Sin City. And
I didn't think there was enough blue dong in it. I'll be honest. I don't think I saw enough penis in that movie. I'll be honest.
All right, so Jason says there should be more penis in the movie. Have you read the graphic novel, Jeff?
Yeah, it's actually over there on the bookshelf right there in our studios.
Sweet.
One of my favorite graphic novels. I liked the movie. I was kind of bored by it. I don't know if I would watch it again. The graphic novel, I think I've read about 3 or 4 times.
I enjoyed the movie, and honestly, I know people say, it's the unfilmable. They couldn't turn it into a movie. I mean, obviously, he cut out all the subplots of the pirate ship. That was all cut out. which I honestly, when I read the novel, gloss over and
I
just
do the
skip
same
over
exact
it.
thing.
So
Do the same exact
taking
thing.
that out of the movie didn't. And I think on the DVD copy, they actually had the pirate ship stuff, like a short of the pirate ship stuff added onto the DVD. I haven't seen it, but that's what I heard.
Who was that? Was that Zack Snyder that did that?
I think that was Zack Snyder.
He did. What was
He
the?
did the Superman movie, didn't he?
Well, yeah. He did
300?
Man of Steel.
Yeah,
he did
Man of
Man of Steel. He's doing the next one. He's doing. He did 300. He did Sucker Punch. Oh.
It wasn't Frank Miller who directed it? I thought Frank Miller directed one of those.
Frank Miller.
No, Frank Miller wrote 300.
He directed Sin City,
Oh, he
Okay,
directed
there you
Sin
go.
City.
or co-directed Sin City.
So, like I said, it was good. Watchmen. I don't know if I would watch it again, but
But well, the thing I liked about the movie over the book was I thought the plot about getting all the artists in a colony to create a stupid-looking creature, then killing all the artists, making the creature come to New York, and that was the reason why everyone was going to gather together and band together. I liked the idea of they turned it around and made Dr. Manhattan the reason, that they did that. I
Correct.
thought that was an improvement over the
book.
the book, and I'll probably get some feedback telling me I'm wrong. But hey,
You're wrong.
We all have our opinions,
tell me he's wrong.
and that one's mine.
Wait, so in the book they get a colony of the best artists
Yes.
to come
Yes.
together and create...
Create this
Lizard. Or,
an octopus-looking
squid.
alien, an alien squid that appears in the middle of Manhattan and destroys half of Manhattan, instead of just the explosion that they blame on
Manhattan.
Dr.
Why
Manhattan.
did they need artists to come up with...
Because they wanted to be believable. Yeah, I like I said, that was a thread of the story I didn't like. So when they took that out, I was fine with that.
Yeah.
I'll make Jason let you borrow it so you can read it. And
It's a great book. And then Marty, who's a new listener to us.
thank you, Marty.
Thank you. He's actually he might actually be submitting some music / voiceover work for some of our categories. So talked to him last night, so I appreciate that, Marty. And he does have the question, which I never even thought about: what is the best superhero slogan or oath?
Oh, it's got to be Green Lantern.
In brightest day,
In darkest night,
Nope.
no evil shall escape my sight.
But those that worship evil's might.
Beware my power.
Worship evil's light. Sorry.
No. Oh, no, I forgot exactly how it goes. But it's the best. Just because I can't
Beware
memorize
Green
it.
Lantern's might.
I think it's Beware Green Lantern's light.
Okay, well, we just
Yeah.
fucked all that up. It was a favorite oath, but we fucked it up.
What other oaths are there?
Or slogans like, with great power comes great responsibility.
Like Spider-Man.
Well, it's not his slogan or...
Well, no, but it's just...
He says it all the time.
He was told it, and everybody else says it too.
Technically, in the
don't
comic book, he wasn't
No.
even told it by Uncle Ben.
He was. Well,
they? Okay, I'm thinking movies.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking comics.
No, that's fine.
Oh
I'm just
God,
saying.
no! It's definitely, we're talking comics, because the Green Lantern movie in Art of Minds doesn't exist.
It does have a spot in our studio. Did you see that over there, Morris? The DVD of Green Lantern?
I did.
It's a great film.
Yes, that was a present my sister gave Jason.
Yes, I love it. Love it. It's great. I love Green Lantern. That was sarcasm. So there you go, Marty. I don't know. Batman's is a close one. You killed my parents. I don't know.
He said that to everybody.
You killed my parents. I'm selling you Girl Scout cookies. You killed my parents.
Superman's got truth, justice, and the American way, and
I didn't even know that was Superman. Justice. I thought he was like faster than a speeding bullet.
Well,
that's
he's
another
got that
one.
too.
Little
Yeah.
locomotive. And,
well, that's more the introduction from the television show. The truth, justice, and
got-
American way was been around with him for a long
I
time.
think my number 2 is Hulk Smash.
That-
I like that one. Hulk Smash. That's about it.
I think my favorite, it's not necessarily a superhero, it's a supervillain. It's Solomon Grundy, Crush Car!
Born on a Monday. Died on a Tuesday.
Yeah, that should have been the end.
Okay, that's it, but he kept going. And then finally, they have much listener feedback. Bad listeners. Come on, give us some stuff. Doug asks, this is his quote, not knowing anything about Guardians of the Galaxy except for seeing the trailer, in parentheses, looks great. Thank you, it does. pictures of Star-Lord, aka Chris Pratt, on the internet are of him looking spacey. Is that his look, or is his style in the trailer another version of him? I think spacey is like.
How much? What does he mean by spacey?
I think the costume he's wearing in the thing, because he has a mask on in the trailer. Did you see the trailer, Morris, for the Guards?
No.
Go on our website or Facebook page. It's awesome. It's beautiful.
It's a good trailer.
Yeah, and I've spent like 6 episodes just jizzing my pants about it.
And it's better than the trailer to Godzilla.
Fuck you. Anyways, did you see the trailer to Godzilla?
I did. I watched it.
Okay, thank you. Still go to hell.
Matthew Broderick's in it, right?
Shut up, okay? All of you just shut up.
Matthew's not in the new Godzilla.
Hank Azaria's back, though. Can I stress that enough? No, he's not. He does have a space look in the comic book, Peter Quill. You know, I don't think he wears the mask much. At least this present run that I've been reading, I think they're on issue number 13. He doesn't wear it as much. He does have kind of a space uniform.
Not being a reader of it, but I thought that he did wear the mask a lot in older renditions.
I think he did.
Editions.
And I did get a lot of the old series on Comic Book Day last May. I have not had a chance to read them.
Okay.
So
it's almost a year now, Jason.
We had a kid.
You had a kid a month ago.
I know, that was all I can do.
I mean, you were making the kid last
See,
May.
maybe it took 9 months to make the kid. Shut up. So, but yeah, I mean, I think they're doing more of a space look in the movie, and I think part of it is just to appeal to the kids.
Well,
with
they
the face
in space, so wouldn't they have a space look?
Correct. But if you haven't seen the trailer, I can't say it enough. Just fucking go see it. And that will do it for the listener feedback.
It's time for another installment of the News of the Geek.
I love that music every time. I really do. The first thing of the News of the Geek is the Flash's full suit was revealed this week. He's in, it's the CW news show, The Flash, which spun off from Green Arrow. And even if you haven't read the comic books, the suit looks pretty badass. Back me up on that, Jeff?
I don't know what I was expecting. Obviously, a big suit of red spandex is going to look ridiculous, so I didn't know what they would really do. But I'm not sure if I could design anything better. So
I think I would look good in it.
I would look great.
No, there you go.
Again, I apologize. I'm coming from outside, really.
That's okay.
That comic book world.
I'll be honest, probably I would say maybe a fourth of our listeners are comic book readers. I think everyone else just sees the movies and that. So it's okay. You're perfectly fine.
But I never really got the Flash.
He moved fast.
That's my understanding. What does that do for him? Like, what's an example of a bad guy that he's overcome because of his speed? Like, what's the typical plot?
Time. He can overcome time because
he gets somewhere really fast to stop someone from doing something bad.
Oh God, you're going to get hate on that one.
and he can punch them incredibly fast, and they don't even see it coming.
Time out. He can stop time, or he's going so fast that the Speed Force, he can slow down time.
And travel through time.
Yeah, and travel through time. The problem is there's a bad guy, Reverse Flash, very original, who can do just the same. So it's like, well, what's the chances that in this whole big world, you have two guys that can do it?
But the Flash seems to be a really big hero in the whole comic book world.
Yes.
It doesn't really...
He's the fastest man alive. That's not good enough for you?
It's not.
Wow.
Like, what's his backstory?
It's a whole story about Carl Lewis. That's all it is.
He's a police scientist.
CSI.
CSI. And he was in his lab, and there were chemicals, and there was a storm, chemicals and lightning mixed, and he became real fast.
Like, can he turn it on and off, or?
Oh yeah, he can.
He can just walk around at regular speed.
Does he have a secret identity?
Yes.
A couple.
Well, there are a couple people that have been the Flash, but
Jay Garrick.
Jay Garrick was the original Flash from the 40s or something. That's
Barry Allen.
Barry Allen is the one who they are doing in the
and Wally
movie.
West. Wally West came third.
Yeah, Wally West was third.
Okay.
He was Kid Flash. He was the original Kid Flash and the Flash's sidekick. And then when
Barry died,
when they killed Barry Allen off in the
Infinite Crisis.
Crisis on Infinite Earths.
That's it. Yeah.
They killed off Barry Allen, so Wally West took over the mantle of Flash, and then they I think Wally West retired, and Bart Allen,
Yes.
Barry's grandson, who was, so, I don't know, the Speed Force fucked him up, so he aged real quickly. He was like a baby, and then all of a sudden he's like 20, so I don't quite understand the storyline behind that.
I don't think DC does either.
But they wiped that all away when, was it Final Crisis?
Yeah.
They brought Barry Allen back.
And now, I always see this online. Is Barry Allen or Wally West the number one guy that the fans love?
Barry Allen.
Okay.
Well, I think that's who it is.
The fanboys love Barry Allen.
Personally,
correct?
I like Wally West better.
Okay.
And I think you did too until they brought his kids into it.
Fucking kids.
Does he have a nemesis or a weakness?
He's got actually a rogues gallery, and his bad guys are actually pretty cool. No pun intended.
Would I have heard of any of them?
Captain Cold.
Nope.
Did you ever watch the Super Friends?
It's been a long time.
He's the guy with the gun that freezes everybody.
He shoots people with a freeze gun.
He's pretty cool. He's one of my favorite bad guys. Boomerang, Captain Boomerang. And guess what his power is? I throw a boomerang. Put another shrimp on the bobby. And also, shout out to our Australian friends. We are now in Australia.
Woohoo! Yes, we have hit all 6 inhabited continents.
Antarctica, I'm looking at you. And then I'm trying to think who else. He's got Reverse Flash, which we talked about, which is
Gorilla Grodd.
Gorilla Grodd. Grodd?
I always called it Grodd.
I don't know.
But Mirror Master,
Yeah.
the weather
Trickster.
controller guy. Oh, yeah, Trickster.
We've talked about this guy a couple of episodes. Pied Piper.
Yes.
Woo, he plays a pipe. And
he has mind control powers through his music.
yeah, whatever. Picture Rat King from Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's kind of like that. Trying to think what else. I think those are his big guys. In all honesty, his bad guys are actually pretty decent.
He's got one of the biggest rogues galleries out
I mean,
there.
as lame as some of them are, like, Reverse Flash, you're the exact opposite. Come on. I think there's a Weathermaster, too, isn't there?
Something like that. I don't remember what his
Weathermaster.
name is, but there's some guy that controls the weather.
So, I'm looking forward to it. The suit looks better than I thought. I thought CW would kind of mess around with it. Maybe give him a midriff or something. I don't know.
Half shirt.
Half shirt. Mesh. Just all mesh. So anyway, there you go. That starts in fall. Let's see here. We're going to try to get through some of the news of the geek quicker this time, just because we got lots of things to talk about. It's a very sequel-esque episode.
Yes, in honor of Jeff's second trip to the Bob Studios, we are now sequeling our...
Yes, the best and worst sequels, so that will come up in a little bit here. Let's see, there's a Sinister Six... Sinister Six? That was my speech impediment coming through. Sinister Six spin-off movie that is coming out after Amazing Spider-Man 3, I think it is, isn't it? They're doing Amazing Spider-Man 2.
It's
Amazing
after the
Spider-Man
third one.
3, and then Sinister Six and Venom is the other two.
Are the Sinister Six, they're going to be good guys in it?
No, they're bad guys, and that's what I'm getting to. Here we go.
Yeah.
Producer Matt Tolmach, come on our show and correct me, please. Address this concern with the website SFX. I think it's magazine too. This is a quote from Matt Tolmach. It's a challenge in every sense. Obviously, questions of traditional hero-villain dynamics have to be looked at. At the same time, it's an awesome challenge because some of the greatest characters are in fact villains, and how you construct that is so much fun. People love those bad characters if they're good bad characters, and love to watch them. Nobody's all good, nobody's all bad, and so when we end up with that story, I think is a really awesome challenge. So there you go. And his other comment is, it's a definitely badass group of people, and I think it's going to be a ton of fun to watch them. I'm intrigued by it. I did not like Amazing Spider-Man, the reboot.
Really, at all?
It was okay. I was bored by it.
Oh, I kind of enjoyed it.
I'm so tired of origin stories. Tired.
Well, I didn't... Yeah, they didn't need to do that. It's been not too far back that
Correct.
they actually did the Tobey Maguire ones. I think they could have just continued on instead of rebooting. But
Well, they could have continued on without Kirsten Dunst. Ugh.
I don't know what you...
Snaggletooth.
Yeah.
Anyways, did you see Amazing Spider-Man, the newest one?
Yeah.
Morris? What did you think, Morris?
I didn't hate it.
That's a good review. I didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it. It was.
Hey, to me, that is a good review.
It's gonna be on the poster.
I didn't hate it.
It was more. It seemed a little more, I guess, gritty than the Sam Raimi films. The Sam Raimi ones had that comic
polish.
It like had a comic book feel, like a little bit of, like it wasn't really. It didn't seem as much the real world as the
new
reboot.
one.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
And I didn't hate that. I liked that idea. I didn't love the whole movie. Like it wasn't something that was
You would see again and again.
right, but I didn't hate it. I didn't hate that I watched it.
I like that it got Peter Parker's sense of humor. I did like that. Jeff, do you think, and even Morris too, because you saw the first three, obviously the original with Sam Raimi. Do you think they're going to hold up in 10 years? Those originals. I mean,
I think they're already starting
to show age.
The Sam Raimi and
They're on cable a lot, and I watched them, especially the first one. Green Goblin does not look good.
Oh, he didn't look good when it came out.
Correct.
So I mean that's not because of age.
He was
anyway.
a Power Ranger named Roger. It looked like.
Yes,
I mean,
that's what it looked like.
I mean, it did not.
Well,
so.
I think there's a campy feel to the original. Is that the original three, or did they make a Spider-Man movie before that?
That's the original. I think they might have made some television
They
stuff.
did. They
a
made.
television
I almost
show.
said Mark Lynn Baker. That's not it from Perfect Strange. It was another Mark, but they made a TV show of it.
But it did. There were parts that kind of had that campy feel, and I think campy always stands up, no matter how bad the special effects look in the future, because the worse that they look, the more the camp
Correct.
becomes.
I think the third one's awful. Take a drink. Awful.
Awful.
Here's your first
Woo.
awful. If you're playing at home drinking game, anytime somebody says awful, take a drink.
Take a drink.
We're not responsible for any of that. That's our word of our show. Even Morris is getting in.
We're trying not to use that word as often as we had been.
Unless we want to get drunk. Yeah, I mean, the third one with Venom and who else was it? Sandman and oh my god.
Sandman and Venom and they
Skaterboard, Green Goblin, Hobgoblin,
whatever he was supposed to be. The third one wasn't good.
I'll vouch for the first one. I won't vouch for the second two.
The second one with Dr. Octopus was good. And I think it was just because they finally got Dr. Octopus a good one. He's on the screen, it looks good. I don't think it really holds up as well as I thought it was going to. But like I said, Sinister Six, I'm intrigued by. I would love to see that, see how they do that. So there you go. Let's see. Quick thing, they're making Terminator Genesis. Starts shooting in April.
Anybody we know associated with that one?
Let's see here. We got Laeta Kalagris. Cowlingus? Is that Cowlingus? I don't know. She's from The Bionic Woman. You got Patrick Lussier, who's from Drive Angry. He's in it.
So nobody we know.
Actually, I think there is somebody. I don't remember who. Anyways, basically what they're going to do, it's a kind of a reboot, but not completely. It's from what I saw online, it's going to be like a Back to the Future 2. Like they're going to incorporate the other movies into it.
They're going to be jumping through time?
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to do kind of the Star Trek J.J. Abrams thing and like do a different timeline. Which
I thought you meant when they were doing the J. James Star Trek thing, they were doing a lot of lens flares.
Ooh, lens flares. So, does anyone care about Terminator?
I lost interest after watching Terminator 2, so.
Morris?
Well, I figured we'd get to that in the worst sequels section.
Okay, there you go. Let's see here. Marvel.com reports that Heroes alum Adrian Pastar, who is Nathan in Heroes, is set to appear on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in an upcoming episode as classic Hawk antagonist Glenn Talbot, who's supposed to, quote, cause some trouble for our favorite agents. In the comic books, he's the one that figured out Bruce Banner is...
Okay, yeah, I don't recognize the name. I don't know
is
what
it Bruce
he
or
has.
Dave? It's Bruce, yeah.
It's Bruce.
Yeah. David is the TV show that they
TV
did.
show, yeah.
Anytime Adrian Pastar is on the TV, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I don't dislike him.
Are you caught up on S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yeah, I'm caught up on S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay, I'm one episode behind. I didn't see Lady Sif yet.
Oh.
Morris, do you watch S.H.I.E.L.D.? Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I do, but I'm like 5 weeks behind.
Okay, well, this is going to contain
Well, if
some
it makes you feel any
spoilers.
better, I think there's been 2 new episodes in the last 5 weeks.
Yeah, so you're okay. Okay, Jeff, this is direct at you then.
Okay.
The second last episode, when they got the cure for Skye,
Okay.
what the hell did Coulson see in that tank?
Aliens.
Oh!
It's an alien.
Skrulls?
They didn't specify, but the cure, they kind of discussed it in the newest episode, but the cure is of alien origin.
Oh.
And that's why they can't figure out what it is, and they're keeping it a secret, and why agents had to give up their lives to protect it from getting out.
See, I was wondering, because I thought it was life model decoys that they were making. I thought it was the way that the tubes were. It was half a body in the air canister. I thought they were growing it, like it was building it. Aliens make sense, though.
Yeah,
okay.
at least that's what Coulson said. He said it was of alien origin, and that they obviously know nothing about it, and so that's what that was.
I literally saw that about 20 minutes before we started recording tonight. I finished that one. And then supposedly after Captain America, the Winter Soldier, it's going to throw S.H.I.E.L.D. on its head. And basically, I think that S.H.I.E.L.D. becomes not bad guys, but
our team will probably be fighting amongst the.
And I think that the agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is going, like the TV show. I think they're going to go rogue.
Yeah,
I think so.
They'll go rogue against Fury and.
Because I really think Robert Redford's a bad guy. I think he is.
Oh, he is. He's
got to be.
He let it slip in an interview that
he?
he was playing a bad guy.
There you go. Red Skull.
I don't know what bad guy he's playing, but
Did you see previews, Morris, for Captain America 2?
I have, yes.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
You love it, Jeff. Just smile and nod.
So that is definitely one I'm seeing at midnight. So, Jeff, get ready for that one. And finally, on the news of the geek, one of our favorite podcasts that Kevin Smith and Ralph Garman does, Hollywood Babylon, and actually part of the reason we started this podcast. Thank you, Kevin Smith.
Thank you, Kevin Smith.
He told his listeners, just create something. Even if it's your friends just sitting around bullshitting, put a microphone in front of you, do a podcast, and that's what we did. So, like I said, never thought it would get to episode 9, and didn't think we would get the listeners that we would. So thank you for that. But anyways, on his podcast, Hollywood Babylon, they're actually going to be a TV show on AMC. They announced it on his latest podcast.
Yeah, last week's podcast, they announced that they are going to be somehow interpreting the podcast into a televised series.
Yes.
They didn't know the specifics of what they were going to do, but it was going to be more than just them sitting around talking like they do on the podcast. Probably do some animation or some acting out of the characters they sometimes do. You're not allowed to do that.
Sorry.
But with his relationship with AMC, they hammered out a deal finally to televise it. But yeah, they do The Comic Book Man is on AMC, so it's going to be related to that.
So Hollywood Babylon is one of my favorite podcasts. I'll be more than happy to give them a shout out. That was one of the first ones when I heard about podcasts a couple of years ago. That's one of the first ones I saw and or listened to. So, like I said, I'll be more than happy to give them shout outs. Like I said, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here. So I don't know if that's good or bad, but we have some listeners now. We're gaining an audience, so that's nice.
Yeah, like all 6 of you. Thank you.
Yeah, we're a little bit more.
Okay.
So there you go. Anything else on that, Jeff?
No, that's pretty much it. They just announced that they weren't sure exactly what it's going to be or when they're going to actually premiere, but they had just inked it or whatever like a day before they recorded their podcast. So,
okay, that's the last of the news of the geek this week. Next is box office news. Still working on that. So the first thing is this past weekend, which I don't even know what was this past weekend. What is today's date even?
Today's the 14th.
Okay.
So,
Pi Day.
March
14th.
Yeah. We are recording on Pi Day. You're right.
Yes, right. March 7th, box office. March 7th through the 9th, box office. 300, Rise of an Empire, opened up to $45 million on a $100 million budget. And I thought it was going to bomb. You can go back on my previous podcast.
Yeah.
And I'll admit, I was wrong.
45 is pretty good considering they're probably getting most of their money internationally.
You got Box Office Mojo up, Jeff? Let's take a look.
I haven't really been following I haven't really looked into that one. Is that one based on historic events as
No,
well?
I don't think so. The
Like,
first one was.
Yeah, the first one I learned about the Battle of Thermopylae.
Yes.
I thought that was great.
Well, this was about the rise of an empire.
Supposedly it takes place, it's a lot of time jumps. It takes place during the 300. The original one is taking place because while the 300 is defending their gates, the rest of their people are gaining or trying to build an army and come help them.
But what I thought was so cool about the first one was that it was based on this
Yes.
historic battle, and it was this great battle. There were so many great battles in ancient Greece. Marathon was a great battle. And, okay, maybe there's two great battles. Thermopylae and
What do you mean,
Marathon.
Morris? What about the Battle of Troy? Troy?
Troy?
What's that?
That was in Greece.
Well, the Greeks went to what is present-day
Okay.
Turkey,
Sorry.
but it was Greeks involved in the battle. Come on.
My bad. Sorry. Oh, there's two good battles. I don't think this is based on a fact. Like I said, I think internationally, how much did it do internationally?
It looks like, as of now, domestically, as of yesterday, was over 59 million.
That's as of March 13th.
And foreign was over 87 million.
So it's made its money back.
So worldwide, over 147 million.
Okay. So
For on a $100 million budget, yeah, it's got a profit.
yeah, I was surprised. Did you have any?
Well,
Now,
from what I've seen from the preview, it just looks like it's taking the popularity of the first
Yes.
one and what all bad sequels do. Take the popularity of the third one and just take the things that they think is cool and extend it instead of the things that actually made it cool, like it being based on
a true story.
on a historic event.
True
That it being
story.
based on a graphic novel. Is this
What?
one based on the graphic novel?
I think
He
he
did make-
might have. I don't know if it's based on the graphic novel, but I know he wrote a sequel.
he wrote a sequel after the movie came out. Oh, look, I got more to tell.
Well, he's allowed because he made the original.
correct.
And it was
Kinda
Frank
like-
Miller, right?
Yeah. So it was kind of like Forrest Gump when that movie came out. The guy that wrote the book said, "Oh, I got another book in me. Sorry, here we go."
Yeah, now we get Forrest doing stuff in the 80s. Yeah.
And speaking of that, okay, we'll get to the sequels in a second. I'll tell you that. Forrest Gump. Mr. Peabody and Sherman opened up to $32 million. This astonished me. The budget for Mr. Peabody and Sherman was $145 million. It was bigger budget than 300.
Hey, doing all everything, drawing it all is expensive.
And they had to train the dog to talk.
That's true. They did. And that's not cheap. That's not cheap.
And they had to train the dog to talk like Phil Dunphy.
Yes, right, from Modern Family. I think the bigger thing is they had to teach the dog to be attracted to women, human women, because he has a son in it, so that's a human, so obviously something happened there. So, anyways, it did not get good reviews. It has not gotten good reviews.
I had no desire to see it.
I kind of do. I did like
My
Run.
kid's gonna make me take him to it.
Don't worry, Morris, I'm with you on that. My son is super stoked for that one.
All
We'll
right.
send them together and then we'll go watch 300 Rise of an Empire.
300 has nudity. There you go. Female nudity.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah, you didn't specify. I know they had
My-
a lot of oily chests in the first one.
Maybe there's more dong in it, like I said. Who knows?
Is it blue dong?
Maybe. Then I had to throw this in. Some box office bombs. Here we go. What do we like? Pompeii.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. $100 million budget, all financed by a German company, and it's made $21 million. Fuck you again. I'm going to keep making a Pompeii update until it's out of our theaters.
Yeah, Jason likes to rub in the wounds there.
Of course, did you see our number one fan, Doug? He wanted to do a Kickstarter program to get to raise money for me and you to go, Jeff, to see
To go
Pompeii.
watch Pompeii. Kickstarter, we are looking for $18. As soon as $18 are reached.
Well, you know me, I like popcorn, so I have to at least 30. I think 30. And then we'll bring Morris into it. Morris is a pretty big movie guy.
That's true. Yeah, we need to get the whole group back together.
That's
And
right.
Pompeii's based on historic events.
Well, it's based on one historic event.
I don't think the love story's true.
Well, I'm not sure the love story in 300 was true either.
Oh no, but
But the main event behind it was. Like
Well-
the love story of Titanic, not necessarily true.
this,
But the boat sinks. The volcano
oh great, you just
explodes.
fucked up the ending. Spoilers.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much it's This is the movie Titanic next to a volcano.
You can spoil movies more than 20 years old, not 17. Come on. The other one.
Oh no! Wait, hold on, Jay.
What?
Although you're reveling in how bad it's done domestically.
Stop it! Don't tell me this.
57 million internationally.
Still not making its money back.
No, not its money back. It's at almost 79 million.
Still not making it because you got what 10 million in marketing.
They pretty much say what about a fourth of your budget is what they throw to marketing.
125 they're up to. Fuck you. The other one is RoboCop. It was made 54 million on a $100 million budget. I could take it or leave it. I heard it wasn't bad.
I heard it was bad, but that's because it was my own brain telling me that's bad.
Is it just me, or for the last 10 years, are 99% of the movies that come out based on something else? Like every movie that we just went over is based on something else. 300 is a sequel to something.
It's true.
Mr. Peabody and Sherman based on a cartoon.
Well, Pompeii based on historic events.
RoboCop based on a movie. Just anything that we did, comic book movies, they're all based on the comic books.
Well, everything's based on something.
Not necessarily. There are original movies out there. Her was great. That was one of the 1%.
I will say Spielberg has gotten a lot of creative ideas lately. I think Morris's head just exploded.
although Jay, I'm gonna have to bring you down again.
God damn it, Jack.
They make these movies because they do well in the foreign markets.
There's no way RoboCop's done well in foreign markets.
$165 million.
What? That is my Peter Brady voice. What?
Overall, it's over $220 million on a $100 million budget. Sequel.
Which would be based on RoboCop 2, the original. Way to be, Morris. Well, here you go. Here's some good ones coming out. Maybe you'll get some originals here. Need for Speed.
Video game.
Veronica Mars.
Time out. Need for Speed. Shit. Please let that bomb. Please.
But Aaron Paul is in it.
I know, but please. And Michael Keaton.
Well, I've given up on him a while ago.
Well, I'm just... I wish I knew how to quit you. Anyways, Veronica Mars.
Based off a TV show.
Which I've never seen, but I'm intrigued by the movie.
I just started watching it. Buddy at work let me borrow. He had the DVDs, so I saw about 3 episodes.
Was it good?
It's pretty good, but I almost turned it off and never watched another minute because when in the second episode, Paris Hilton was in it.
Oh.
And
Does she die?
She doesn't, but she's only in that episode.
Okay.
Like, I'm watching it, I'm like, I better check. I checked and found that she's only in one episode, so I'm like, okay, as long as she's not reoccurring, I'll give it
a chance.
Another chance. But when I saw Paris Hilton, I almost threw my computer across the room.
And then this is a good one. It's original, Morris.
Yeah.
Tyler Perry's The Single Moms Club.
Historic event.
Oh.
No. Well, it begins with Tyler Perry's. Does it have Medea in it?
I don't know.
If it has Medea in it, then it's based off of a previous character he's already done.
Oh, Jesus. Which I will say, when Jeff and I previewed, when he used to work at the movie theater, previewed Diary of a Mad Black Woman,
yes.
We had no idea who Tyler Perry was. We didn't know he was big on the stage or anything as Medea. Yeah. But when we watched it, we liked it. Except for the parts with Medea.
Yeah, we're watching it, I'm like, it's a nice little melodrama for what it is. And then you had this guy acting like the old woman, and I'm like...
What's the one Ralph Garman says? Holly Juja? Or Holly Juja? Oh, she mispronounces things. Oh, that's funny.
And I'm like, oh, well, if you take that Medea character out, this might be a good movie.
Yes.
You know, it's a little schlocky and unrealistic because they have legal battles which are so not according to the way the law works.
In the movie, it's... Yeah. But he did do a great Alex Cross in the James...
I didn't see it.
No, stop it.
No, okay.
Moving on. So there's your box office news. Like I said, those are the 3 ones that open up next week. Or this week, actually. This weekend, I'm sorry.
They're opening
tonight.
In your theaters tonight as we record.
Yes. Let's see here. Now we got the next section. Are you ready? Let's do it. Hit the theme music, Jeff.
Do we have music for that one?
Yes, we do.
Oh, okay. Let me get the theme music.
That's right. It's Chris Pratt news, baby.
Yay!
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt news.
I like it. I like it.
It's a work in progress.
Yes, it is. Chris Pratt news of the week. He was a male stripper as a teenager, and he even stripped for his friend's grandmother. There you go. There's your Chris Pratt news.
Way to go, Chris Pratt.
Yeah, you don't see John Noble as a stripper.
No, you don't. You think Chris Pratt will come to the Bob Studios to strip for us?
Chris Pratt, you could come to the studio and strip for us. I'm not really into that, but hey, if it would get you here, let's do it. Come on out. Farm country of Ohio.
You just lost another potential guest,
Yeah. Did
On
you
a
work with him?
Ferris.
Did you work with him? You worked on Sharknado. Did you work with him on anything? Parks and Rec?
He was in Sharknado, right?
No, I don't think he was. For working on Sharknado, you didn't know much about the show. Did they just bring you in, technical advisor, and then skipped you off?
I was close with the Sharks.
Okay. Now it's up for the hidden gems of the week. Jeff, you got anything this week?
I do not.
I got two.
All right. Well, that makes up for me not having one.
Sorry to cut you off right there. You're like, I do not. I do. Actually, one is a correction. 2 weeks ago, I said the PlayStation 4 game that, you're a journalist in an insane asylum.
Yes.
It was not Outbreak. It's Outlast.
Oh, like Survivor.
Yes.
Okay.
Outlast. And I did find out from online, I haven't played that much more of it, but enough of it, you never do get a weapon. You have to hide away from these zombies, or these monsters.
Can't you just beat them with your tape recorder or something?
I'll throw batteries at them.
Yeah, throw batteries.
And then my hidden gem of the week is Bates Motel on A&E. Morris, you're a big scary movie guy. Did you watch it?
I haven't seen it, but I've seen previews for it, and I do kind of want to see it, but I haven't really heard any reviews from anybody that I really trusted on it.
First season was good. I've only seen one episode of the second season. I'm one episode behind. It was pretty good. The second season started off pretty decent. If you can get past the incest angle, because the whole time you're like, man, these two have a really good chemistry. Oh, they're a mother and son. Damn it. The guy that plays Norman
Remember
Bates.
Serbian film?
Stop it. Stop it.
You're the one who brought up incest.
It doesn't happen, though. It is very well done for... I'm not a big A&E fan. I think some of their shows are pretty not good. I didn't say awful. Oh, did.
Oh, now you did. Take a drink.
But I will say, like, the guy that plays Norman Bates, and I can't think of the kid's name, he's done...
Freddie Highmore.
Thank you. He's done an amazing job in it. And he has, like, these little ticks in it, like Norman Bates would. And it's well done. Like, it takes place in modern times because they have cell phones and all that. But the whole town is basically, it's a small town, but everybody, or the bigwigs in the town, the rich people, all drug dealers. So they basically are growing pot in the fields. And Norman Bates' brother actually works in the fields protecting the pot.
Does it have anything to do with the actual timeline from the movie Psycho?
They're doing it as an updated version. It takes place before he becomes the real Norman Bates. He's already killed a couple people in it, but he's 17 years old in it, which I was kind of worried about because I thought, oh god, it's going to be melodrama. It's not. It's not. It's not like that at all.
Well, it reminds me of Hannibal. I
think it is.
Yeah, the TV show I haven't watched the TV show Hannibal, but that's kind of like an updated. Like, it supposedly takes place nowadays, even though the Hannibal character has been around for
the
decades.
Norman Bates is, like I said, they still have some like throwbacks, like the cars, like a couple of the cars in it are 1950s and 60s cars. Not all of them, but some. So they do have some throwbacks. The house looks the same. The hotel is thriving now because they got it going. So it hasn't hit that. Bad.
Well, I just saw an ad for this earlier this week where they're getting news that they're putting the bypass highway in.
Yes.
And she's like, I just bought a hotel that no one's even going to know about.
So it's very good. Like I said, Norman Bates' his mom in it, does a great job. Who is that?
Vera Farmiga?
Yeah.
I can't pronounce the name.
Come on our show.
Apologize. Yes, come on and correct us.
The whole thing is good. Like I said, you have the pot business as the background with the guys. You have murders happening all over. You think the sheriff is dirty, but you don't know. You got Norman Bates accidentally killing people. It's a great film, or a great show. So Bates Motel on A&E. Take a look. And then the only other thing is for the promos this week, we talked about all the podcasts that we were friends with. Take a look at them. We're on Stitcher. We did want to thank Stitcher. They showed that, or I'm sorry, because of you listeners.
Yes, thank the listeners.
Thank you, listeners. We were number 2 this week from March 2nd through the 9th. Number 2 on the movers list, which means we've moved up the second most amounts of space with new listeners than any other show except for one. So thank you. We've had last couple of weeks have been a boom in listenership.
And that was a political type show, so I think...
Yeah, the number 1 was political.
So they can have their politics. We'll take our entertainment.
So seriously, thank you. Go on Stitcher.com. You can listen to us on that. iTunes we're on. Everything we're on. But Stitcher, like I said, gave us a big promo this week because we were number 2. So thank you very much. And so we're doing a little bit different on the top 5 this week.
We're having our intro. Our top 5 this week is our top 5 best or favorite sequels.
Movie sequels.
So we're going to start off by talking about some of the worst sequels of all time.
We were going to do a top 5 best and worst. There's way too many worst sequels to do a top 5.
Yeah, we could narrow it down to 5. And knowing that Morris was going to be our guest today, I was looking at movie sequels, and this one jumped out at me because I'm pretty sure you had to watch this one.
Which one is that?
Daddy Day Camp.
Oh, I did forgot about that one. Did you see that one, Morris?
You didn't watch that? Oh.
Is it? I think there was like a doggy day.
What?
Daycare or something that I had to watch.
Oh, it was the Eddie Murphy and Jeff Garlin.
I know. I watched the first one.
Oh, maybe it was the first one I was thinking of.
Both Morris and Jeff, as we've talked about before, both worked at movie theaters, and then they would have to preview these movies on a Thursday night before they started for the general public. I got to go up to them for like 16 years and watch these on Thursday nights. So you had to watch the good with the bad. So just some background there. Everybody has seen in this table has seen a lot of shit. So that's why. Well, first off, before we get into some of them, on Twitter this week, the number one thing that was told, I put it out there on Twitter, what's the worst sequel? Give me some. Chris and Sean, at the same time, both tweeted to me, Mortal Kombat 2.
Trying to remember that one.
And that was, I think, Johnny Cage died in it.
I don't think I saw the second one.
And then another one that was mentioned many, many times, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls. That was a pretty popular one on Twitter as well. So,
I actually have a work friend who will defend that movie.
Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls. Oh.
When I mentioned to my wife that I had to come up with 5 great sequels, that was the first one that she came up with.
She liked it? Has she ever seen a movie before? Was that her first movie? No offense to your wife.
I think Transformers 2 was on there.
Oh, dear
too.
God.
Oh, you're turning that knife.
Time out. Let's just say this. My wife said, how about Legally Blonde 2? So don't feel bad. For best sequel.
Best? Oh,
yes.
Wow. Red, white, and blonde?
I told her the ones that I was going to use. And just, well, at least put one good one in there.
Your wife told you this?
So Jeff's list is not endorsed by his own wife.
Jeff's
I'm not
list
sure
is...
she's seen any of them. She's not really a big movie watcher.
Jeff's list is Transformers 2, Transformers 3, Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom. Just keep going.
Pirates of the Caribbean 2.
Oh, God.
Pirates of the Caribbean 3.
Oh, I didn't even think about those. I don't think there was a movie franchise. Well, there was a couple, but that went downhill as quick as the Pirates of the Caribbean. I loved the first one. Second and third ones I thought were awful. Take a drink.
Oh, I'll take a drink. He said awful.
I thought they were bad. Going water. No, I mean, back me up on that. Did you not think the third one was bad?
I thought the third one was bad. The second one was all right, but it did what I hate when movies do, is not finish a storyline. I prefer my movies to have at least a self-contained storyline. I understand then you can go on and expand the story after that in another sequel. But to just leave at a cliffhanger after 2.5 hours and then say, oh, yeah, and you got to watch another 2.5 hours in a year or two to get the end of the story.
Kind of like Matrix 2. Matrix.
And the first one of those that really jumped out at me was Back to the Future Part 2.
Oh, yeah.
Where you were a kid, you were watching it, you were all excited, and then it said to be concluded.
Yes.
So it it's just, you don't want to wait a couple years for another movie when you watch it.
I kind of felt like that after Crocodile Dundee. They knew, I was waiting for the second one. Where is it?
Wow, okay.
Mick Hogan had so much more to tell.
But at least that story was a complete story.
I don't know if it's really a complete story. Oh, look, I'm on an escalator. What, you don't have those in Australia? Excuse me, a couple of the listeners in Australia, please let us know if you have escalators, because Mick Hogan was kind of surprised by that.
Okay.
What pisses me off the most about sequels is when they take the great themes of the original movie and they completely throw everything out the window and they make another one. Like Terminator 2. I hate Terminator 2.
We're going to have an issue on top 5 here.
I hate Terminator 2.
Not for me, we are.
Because the first Terminator, they have this great time travel theory.
Yes.
Where you can't change anything. No matter how hard you try, no matter what you do, you can't change anything. Everything's already written. And then they come around with Terminator, well, maybe you can.
But he was liquid metal. Give me some fucking props on that.
But the first one was so great in that it kind of the ending of it was great. The rest of it was original at the time. It was I really liked the first one, and I thought that the second one was awful because
Awful. Take a drink.
Yep, Terminator
Thanks,
2.
Morris.
Terminator 2 was number 4 on my top 5 sequels of all time. Wow. So what do you think of Terminator 3? Or Terminator Salvation?
Well, at least
those, they got progressively worse.
At least Terminator 3 then went back in we didn't really change anything after all. We just delayed it 10 years,
yeah.
but...
Oh, great. Now I'm looking at my list and thinking I might have to reconsider that.
Well, another one that might be on your list that I absolutely
Oh, dear God.
hate.
Oh, throw it out.
Wait a minute, time out. This is like reverse Jeff. I usually get Jeff's answers always right. I know what Jeff's going to be. This isn't right,
Well,
Morris.
I don't know your list, but one that I saw in a lot of top 5 lists for sequels.
For good ones or bad?
For good.
Okay.
But I absolutely hate, because it completely undermines everything that the first one accomplished, is Aliens.
That's number 5 on my list. I love Alien. You know what, Jeff? Here's my top 5. Why don't you just go ahead and make fun of all of
Why
them?
don't you just pee on the entire list?
I'm going to go. I'm leaving the studio. I'm done.
Alien was a horror movie, and it was a very creepy horror movie, and this very claustrophobic thing, and it's the horror came through the unknown of this alien that you have no idea what was going on. It was just a gritty, wonderful movie, and then Aliens comes out, and it's this action movie where everybody's just shooting everything, and
she was in a mech suit.
But she was in a mech suit.
But we already knew at that time what this alien was, so I mean they're not going to tell the same story. I mean it was. I don't have that on my list, but I'm not going to say it was a bad movie because it didn't have the same feel that the first one did. Because
But it completely changed the entire world that I had come to understand from Alien. That
Well,
I really
maybe you
liked from
misunderstood
Alien.
what
it,
you
young
came to
man.
understand from Alien was that there was a creepy alien hiding amongst the things that you didn't see.
From Alien, I thought that space was this creepy place where no one can hear you scream.
Well,
And
that is
apparently,
true.
when I saw Aliens, everyone's
Screaming. Okay. Well, they can't hear you scream as long as you have life support systems. But Aliens had Newt.
Had what?
Newt, the little girl.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Oh, was that Bill Paxton? No.
I'm sorry. I was trying to redo my top 5 list over here because everything I wrote is now shit. Now I know how you feel last week, Jeff, when I was picking all your movie shows
Oh, yeah,
out.
wait, I got another one that's probably on your list.
Oh, no, go to hell.
Wow, your bad sequel. I mean, my bad sequels. I'm sorry, I got like Garfield: A Tale of Two Kitties written on my sequel.
For
My
best?
bad sequels.
Speed 2.
Oh, that was
No,
awful.
that's not on anybody's top list.
Wait a minute. Time out.
Yeah, Speed
One
2.
of-
Get it right. Speed 2, cruise control. Cruise control.
That's a little shout out for the best of the worst movies, guys.
Usually if it has a colon, you can't expect much from it.
The funny thing on Twitter, again, Chris, who did the Mortal Kombat 2, I retweeted to him and said, or I tweeted back to him and said, what about Speed 2? And he just put, one-word movie review, yikes. So, oh man, Speed 2 was everything about the first one that was halfway decent, they just took it out. And William Dafoe, man, he chewed scenery in that.
Now, if we're talking about bad sequels to good movies, 2 I got to throw out right away.
What's that?
Caddyshack 2.
Oh, yeah.
And Blues Brothers 2000.
Time out. Let's do the old joke. What's the best movie about caddies?
Caddyshack.
What's the worst movie about caddies?
Caddyshack 2.
There you go. Bump, bump. We're here all day. Caddyshack 2. But it had Jackie Mason. Oh!
Yeah, wow.
I'm in Chicken Soup for the Soul. Remember that TV show?
No, I don't.
Oh, well.
I remember the books, but...
Yeah, he was in Chicken Soup, I think it was. My bad.
I enjoyed the first Van Wilder movie. Van Wilder, The Rise of Taj.
You and I saw that.
Oh, that was awful.
Yeah. Van Wilder was very surprising.
And I can understand why people wouldn't like Van Wilder, but it was amusing. I enjoyed it.
I didn't hate Van Wilder.
Yeah, but the second
Never
one.
saw the second one.
Yeah, I mean, well, okay, we'll call it Van Wilder, and Van Wilder's not even in the movie.
Did you see the third one? He becomes Green Lantern. That's it.
When I first started buying movies, I guess on VHS, I really liked the movie Highlander. And I figured that I would like Highlander too.
You figured
so I went ahead and bought it before I had watched it, which is a huge mistake.
Yes, there can only be one. Then only make one movie, please. Please. I saw Highlander 3, I think, with Mario Van Peebles.
Which is better than Highlander.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it was better than Highlander 2.
Yeah, Highlander 3 is what Highlander 2 should have been.
That's not good, though. That's
No,
still not
but,
good.
I mean, if you were making a sequel, like Jeff was talking about earlier, that, when you completely change everything about the story from the first, it's like, all right, there can be only one. And it's, he gets the quickening, he killed everybody, and then it turns out they're aliens in the second one,
yeah,
and there's
that's
more
right.
of them, and it's like, wait a minute, that just was so wrong. It changed everything about the first movie.
I will say, I've never seen all of it, but on TV, on the Hub Network, they've been playing Splash 2, the sequel to Splash.
Yeah, I said 2 weeks ago I saw it on television. I didn't even know it existed.
It came out in 1988. And it's like, how did I not know Splash 2 came out? Not by choice. I didn't think Splash 1 was that good.
Well,
Daryl Hannah in it?
No,
nobody from the
nobody's
original.
Now, did you see enough of it? Did they use
No,
the same
I didn't
characters?
even see enough of it.
Okay.
As soon as it's like, this looks like Splash, but I've seen Splash, and this isn't Splash.
So you can say you haven't seen it, but you're going to put it up there for the top worst films, worst sequels. Come on, give me one.
Well, I'm not. I don't have what I've written down on my list.
Okay.
I think it might have been just a straight to video or something, because I don't remember. And it never came up in any of my searches.
Maybe they could remake that with Colin Hanks this time.
That would be better than what they really did, I assume.
And I was never a big Daryl Hannah fan.
No.
Daryl Hammond, yes. Not Daryl Hannah.
Okay.
The other ones that I have are the ones that completely destroy a wonderful, wonderful franchise. Like
I saw
the
the one.
Matrix. I hated
yes.
the Matrix sequels. Batman Forever and Batman and Robin.
Ice to see you.
And
Holy rusted metal, Batman!
What?
The metal, it's rusted and full of holes.
Chill out.
and episode 1, 2, and 3.
Of the prequels? Star Wars? I hope that was it, because I don't know any other episode 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
I think we all agree that you can just say episodes 1, 2, and 3, and everyone knows what you're talking about.
Yes, the shit
Or
face.
Jar Jar Part 1.
Jar Jar Part 1.
Now, I think they would have redeemed themselves. We talked about this after the first movie came out, where like Jar Jar is so annoying that the only way that this character can be redeemed is if he's actually the mastermind behind everything, and he's the
Yes.
We did talk about that.
if he's the right hand man of the Emperor,
That would have been great.
Then all of this awful shit would have been worth it.
Because nobody suspects the fool.
Yes, exactly.
So-
and then fortunately, they were right. You shouldn't have suspected the fool.
I did see on your list, Morris, and I agree with you. Oceans 12 and 13. I liked the first one. Oceans 11 was hilarious. It was very well done. 12 and 13 was so bad.
I didn't hate 13,
Yeah,
but 12...
12 was awful. 12 was when they originally did 12, it was one of those, we got to make a sequel. This was such a big hit, and all they did
But
was
it was Steven Soderbergh.
But they pulled
Did he direct
a
that?
script.
Yeah. He directed the second one.
He did all three.
Yeah, they pulled a script that the studio had already owned.
Oh.
And, written for something completely different, and they just fit those characters into this script.
Huh.
And so it's like, there's a reason it feels disjointed, is because it was never supposed to be that way.
And isn't that the one that Andy Garcia joins them?
That was the 13th.
Third one? Okay.
This is the one they were out in Europe, or Belgium,
that
or
French
something.
guy is like the super thief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I could say, going back to Bates Motel, you can say Psycho 2, 3, 4, 17.
Yeah, any of the Psychos after the first Psycho.
Never saw any of the Psychos.
Oh,
after the first one.
they're not good.
Or even the Psycho remake. Shot-for-shot remake, they somehow ruined the movie. And you're like, it's shot-for-shot, but yeah.
Well, they did it in color.
Well, yeah.
Look at a girl in a red dress.
Well, we can continue talking about bad sequels. The one thing I do have, I sent this out earlier, it was on shortlist.com, and it was the 40 sequels that never happened. Most of these had treatments or scripts and were ready to go. So it's not just
they were somewhere in the pre-production phase.
Yes, so it wasn't just bullshit rumors. A couple of the good ones, there's 40 of them. Like I said, shortlist.com is
just give the
fun.
good ones.
Gladiator 2, which made me laugh because everyone died.
Yeah, it's like the main character's dead.
But
oh yeah, I read what they were talking about doing on that.
That's not bad. It's
What do you know? That's not bad.
was Maximus would be fighting Roman gods in the afterlife.
Yeah. that sounds not bad to you.
Mrs. Doubtfire 2.
Yeah.
Robin Williams was going to be dressed as obviously Doubtfire, and she would be at the college.
Yeah, his daughter. He was going to follow his daughter to college, and I suppose dress up as a house mom or something.
Which I think they already made that show, didn't they? Will Ferrell gets points in my book because they offered him $29 million for Elf 2, and he said, I think everything's been needed to say that has been said.
Well, Elf 1 wasn't that good, so...
It was until James Caan sang at the end.
It was almost tolerable until James Caan sang at the end.
One I kept seeing everywhere was Who Framed Roger Rabbit 2. I did not like the first one. I don't understand why everybody loves that movie so much.
I enjoyed it, but it's been forever since I've seen it. I'm not going to...
I was a kid when I saw it.
Yeah. I just remember...
Was it a PG-13? I think it was one of the first PG-13 movies I ever saw.
Was it?
Yeah, I don't know. Could have been.
Let's see here. I know another one that I love of great guilty pleasure is Con Air.
Hate that movie. With every fiber of my being, I hate that movie.
Put down that bunny. Yep. That was like Nicolas Cage under a stroke. That was a good impersonation. Put down the bunny. No, it was going to be called Con Airport. I'm not making this shit up. Now, they only got 15 pages into the treatment.
Yeah.
But John Cusack, as a federal marshal, was going to be running a airport where they fly convicts in and out on airplanes.
I suppose that way so they wouldn't have to go through regular airports and endanger other people.
That might be the dumbest thing I've ever heard for a movie. I saw that and I'm like, what? No! I think everything that needs to be said about Con Air has been said. So that's just some of them. Like I said, the Con Airport one made me laugh. Go ahead, Jeff. Sorry.
No, I'm just moving on. I was just thinking, I like some of the titles when people were getting witty with the number 2.
Yes.
So I got a couple of these written down that where they're getting witty, where it was Journey to the Forbidden Island. The sequel to Journey to the Center of the Earth, which wasn't good.
Gun 2.5.
Well, that was all right.
Well, I'm not. I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm just saying
Okay.
playing off the numbers of the title.
And Naked Gun 33 1/3.
And then they went.
I still know what you did last summer.
Oh, that's fine. But yeah, I mean, but like when the number 2 could be substituted for the word TO.
Too
like,
fast, too furious.
Yes, like that. Too fast, too
Too fast, too furious.
Journey to the Forbidden Island, and our favorite, Step Up to the Streets.
It was a 2 or 3 that was the streets.
No, 3 was Step Up 3D.
Oh, that's what it was.
It was Step Up to the Streets. Like you're supposed to step up to the streets.
And you know what the best part is? Not only did Step Up 2, the problem with Step Up 2 that it wasn't as good is they had the whole plot in the title.
Yes, the plot
streets.
was in the title.
It's about the streets, people. And Channing Tatum was in that, right?
Very briefly.
Yes, thank you.
He was in the first one, main character in the first one. Then he was a minor character, just so they could call it a sequel. Otherwise, I think he was the only character, and he had like 10 minutes of screen time.
Don't call it a comeback.
Okay, I won't.
Okay.
I think he strips for his friend's grandma, right?
Yes, and then he stripped for his friend's grandmother.
Wait, don't ruin Chris Pratt by comparing him to Channing Tatum.
Maybe they could make him Magic Mike 2.
Oh yeah. Although Channing Tatum did
You
get
got a
into
little too excited about the Magic Mike 2 there, Jeff.
I was just never mind. But Magic Mike. Oh, if only I would have seen that movie.
I think you did.
But anyway, Channing Tatum, like the best thing Channing Tatum ever did was get in Ellen DeGeneres' photo at the Oscars.
I like Channing Tatum.
I'm sorry.
He was awesome as Duke. I can't back that up.
No, you can't. And moving along.
I didn't one of your favorite movies was Babe 2? Babe in the City?
No, Babe was one of my favorite movies.
Okay, that's right.
Babe 2, I refused to even watch it because I didn't want to ruin Babe. So I won't say Pig in the City was a bad movie, other than it was a bad movie.
Now, wait a minute, Morris. You were saying that you hate sequels that change everything about the original. What about sequels that don't change anything about the original? Triple X 2?
What do you mean? Don't change anything. They killed off Xander Cage.
He's coming back.
Yeah, I know. The next trip. I thought you were talking about don't change anything like The Hangover 2, where it was just the same movie in a different location.
Yes, it was. Alvin and the Chipmunks, the Squeakle.
The Squeakle.
There you go. That goes to yours,
Yeah,
Jeff.
the Squeak Wall.
What was it, David? Who was it? David Cross that said in an interview the reason why he came back for the second one is because he needed a new house, and that's what he did.
Well, and there's always Jaws: The Revenge. That was a great.
Was that
sequel.
2 or 3?
That was 4.
Oh wow.
That's the one Michael Caine was in. And they're like, they said, well, what are your memories? Why did you do, Jaws: The Revenge? And he's like, I don't remember much of the movie, but I do remember the house that it paid for.
Is that the one they go to the Bahamas?
Yes, and the shark follows them from New England to the Bahamas.
Wasn't Jaws the first franchise that made Part 3 3D?
I think it was.
Because that's the first one I remember.
That's the first one I remember.
3D.
Jaws 3D. And
whoa.
A little fun fact on Jaws 3. National
3D.
Lampoon... 3D, sorry, my bad.
Well, when they released it on video in 2D, they dropped the D.
National Lampoons, the organization, actually wrote a script for Jaws 3 as a spoof, like they would make it funny, and it was supposedly a pretty funny script, and it finally got up high enough that they were going right in the studios like, you're going to destroy our brand of Jaws. Well, little do they know.
And then they made Jaws 3D, which destroyed it already.
Basic Instinct 2, that was a good one.
Yeah,
I never
no.
saw that one.
Yeah,
I did. Oh. Whew.
Miss Congeniality 2, Armed and Fabulous.
The first one was not bad.
I never saw the first one. I saw the second one because I got stuck watching it at the theater.
Yeah, I watched it with you. Thank God for that.
It was awful. Oh, God, that's 2 drinks.
No. I think one of the worst sequels of all time, Blair Witch 2, Book of Shadows.
I didn't see it, but
I loved the first one.
I think you told me not to watch it, so I
Yes.
never did.
You like the first one, Morris?
I like the first one.
It scared the shit out of me. And the second one, I was watching, I was like, I don't even know what I'm watching. What is this about? It didn't make sense. But those guys keep wanting to make a prequel about the witch. Let it go, guys.
Yeah, let it go. You made your money. You're hurting everybody else now.
Anybody have Teen Wolf 2 down?
No, I don't have Teen Wolf 2.
That's good.
I
Gone
do.
through all my bad ones.
I do have Meet the Fockers.
Oh.
I can't say I liked Meet the Parents,
No.
but I was angry after watching Meet the Fockers.
Oh.
That's one of those that it takes the the idea of the first one and just tries to work off of what they think
made it popular and just hammer it
instead of what actually made it popular.
Yeah.
I think it's because Barbara Streisand was in. Our hatred for Barbara Streisand knows no bounds. And even Dustin Hoffman's kind of annoying me lately.
Yeah, he was awful in that movie. Awful, damn it. But Dustin Hoffman, somebody who I usually respect most of the movies he does. I'm like, really, you did this piece of shit?
He did do Mumbles in Dick Tracy.
And I think that was a favor to somebody. Everybody who was in Dick Tracy, I think, was on it as a favor to somebody.
Morris, did you see Dick Tracy?
It's been a while.
It doesn't hold up. It wasn't good then. It really doesn't. It's not good now.
Well, it doesn't hold up. It was bad then.
No camp value?
No. It's just... and the problem is Dick Tracy is not a good character to be... Like, back in the day it was, because he was, like, big crime detective. Now it's like, it just looks bad. Like, it doesn't age well. And that's not his fault. It's just, it was written for a specific time period. Now it's just, it looks out of place. Looking online, I forgot one of the better ones, Son of Mask with Jamie Kennedy.
Oh.
I wasn't a big fan of The Mask. I was not a big fan of that
I
one.
enjoyed The Mask for what it was.
Cameron Diaz?
That's what it was.
Yeah, pretty much. Hello, here's my boobs. Let me show you.
Yeah, you pretty much nailed that one right.
I wish. Bump. Yeah, God, Son of Mask. Thank you, Jamie. Can we just put every Jamie Kennedy movie out there?
Well, only if they're sequels, because that's what we're talking about.
Oh, that's true. What was the rap one he did?
It wasn't a sequel, so I'm not
I know
supposed
that.
to
I'm just
remember.
asking what that was.
I don't remember.
Beverly Hills something? Come on, give me that.
No, it wasn't
never
Beverly
mind.
Hills.
Okay,
I
moving
don't
on.
28 Weeks Later, I did not like.
I agree.
I thought that 28 Days Later was phenomenal. One of the best
Yes.
movies ever made. And 28 Weeks Later...
I can't say I didn't like it because I didn't watch it, but I was told probably by you or other people that it's not worth seeing, so I never did watch it.
What's your thoughts on Escape from L.A.?
Oh, it's... I hate that movie because it took a camp favorite from a long time ago, and then recently they just remade it, and then everybody who watches this thinks that, the original Escape from New York must be as horrible as this movie. So so many people aren't going to go back and actually watch Escape from New York, which was a phenomenal... That was John Carpenter, wasn't it?
Yes.
Was the sequel John Carpenter?
I'm not sure.
I do not know.
Another one that was... The first one was not that... I didn't think it was that great either, but Men in Black 2. Oh.
I liked Men in Black 1.
It was okay.
I didn't particularly care for Men in Black 1, and Men in Black 2 I thought was a step up for one reason only. Rosario Dawson was in it.
Yep, John Carpenter did do it. You got Jewel of the Nile. Romancing the Stone was decent. I like that.
Yeah. I mean, I like Romancing the Stone and didn't like Jewel of the Nile. I'll agree with you on that.
And I didn't even realize this. In 1988, they made The Great Escape 2. Wow.
Like a 30-year later sequel?
Oh,
or
it's
something?
a TV follow-up. Sorry, my bad.
Never mind.
And look what happened. Christopher Reeves was in it. Look what happened.
Oh,
jeez.
All right. Do we got any more bad movies we want to go over?
I think we're good now.
All right. Well,
let's do our top 5. Well, I got top 3.
All right. Well, since you have top 3, I suppose we should go to mine and Morris's.
Just to let everybody know, mine was top 5 was Aliens. Number 4 was Terminator 2. I liked them both. Morris can go fuck himself. Morris will never come back on our show until Jeff now invites him back. So there you go.
Jeff, you want to come back next week?
Screw you all.
Sure, we can come up with another top 5 that I can
just rip apart on mine. What you got, Morris, for number 5?
Well, do I get to say any of my honorable mentions?
If you want. If you got honorable
These
mentions,
are top 5 best sequels.
Best sequels. My honorable mentions, these are the ones that didn't quite make it. Wrath of Khan.
I'd put that on an honorable mention of mine also. That's one that didn't quite make it. Khan! Yes.
Godfather 2.
Never saw it.
Didn't see it, so I couldn't have put it on
And I will
mine.
say, Jeff now and I have never seen any of the Godfather movies. It will not be on our top 5. I've heard all of them are great, except for maybe 3. We apologize. We've never seen them. Go ahead, Jeff.
Christmas Vacation.
I thought about that one. I did think about that one.
Yeah, I was never a fan of
The only
Christmas Vacation.
The reason I didn't is because...
I saw it before I saw Vacation and the other one, and
I saw it in theaters. I remember that.
I sadly actually liked European Vacation,
Oh,
and I
no.
know why people wouldn't, but
No.
the whole pig in a poke scene just makes me laugh.
The only reason I didn't put Christmas Vacation on there is because I only can enjoy it at Christmas time. And that's the problem with most Christmas movies. I can't watch it any other time.
Yeah.
So that's why I did it. Go ahead.
Desperado.
Ooh.
Okay.
I thought Desperado. It's Robert Rodriguez, and it has that fast-paced.
Yeah,
it's
I
a
like
good one.
Desperado. I even enjoyed Once Upon a Time in Mexico,
Yes.
which
yes.
was the third one, but I never saw
You
El
ever saw
Mariachi. So
El Mariachi.
So it's like
Mariachi's very
well, I can't really. Without seeing the first one, I didn't know how I would talk about the sequel.
El Mariachi's pretty much Desperado.
That's what I
Yes.
heard. It's the Spanish version. It's Desperado's the English version I heard. So I'm like, if
Okay.
I already saw this, I don't need to watch El Mariachi.
When Once Upon a Time in Mexico came out, I bought the whole box set for like $15, all three. Like that's the greatest deal I've ever had of a good movie.
Silence of the Lambs.
Okay.
Well, that's in my top 5. Honestly, that's my top 2. That's number 2 for me.
Ooh. But that's a very, very good movie, and it almost made the list, didn't quite. Road Warrior.
Yeah.
I thought about Road Warrior.
What about Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome? Ain't we a pair?
Hey, that had a
As
good
much
Tina
as I
Turner
love
song
Tina
in
Turner,
it.
Is that all your honorables?
I had Kill Bill 2 on my honor roll, but
Yeah,
I'm not
I
sure
did-
that counts as a
I didn't
Well,
know.
that's
sequel.
That's
because-
what. Yeah, ones that I purposely didn't even count. I didn't count Kill Bill 2 because it was just pretty much the same movie, just expanded over 2.
And it was originally supposed to be one.
It was originally supposed to be one,
and that's why I didn't put that on there either.
I didn't count Lord of the Rings for the same reason. It's one big story just divided up. I consider it one story, not necessarily 3 separate stories that happen after each
and it
other.
was awful. So there you go. That's
Oh,
why
it wasn't
too.
awful. I mean,
Fucking
and the fact that the first one's my favorite, and I thought the other 2
Really?
weren't quite as good. Yeah,
You're like, I'm
you don't like any of them.
Jeff's
so.
getting defensive over there. Jesus.
Really? Oh my God! I'm like,
Calm
yeah.
down, okay? I know you like them. Jeez, I was just I know number one was the first. Man,
And
So his list hit on my top.
Time out. Are you throwing glass at me?
I just spilled my beer again. That's all. No, that was an empty glass, mainly.
I make fun of Lord of the Rings. I get glass thrown at me.
Like you don't deserve it.
Go ahead, Morris. I'm sorry.
But my good movies are matching with his list, but my bad movies are matching with your list.
Well, you're wrong, Morris. Okay. What's your number 5?
My number 5 is The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Wrong.
Do you not like Good, the Bad?
No,
and
I
the
do
Ugly?
like it, but I had to say wrong for you.
I think that The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is better than the first 2. A few dollars more and
A fistful of dollars.
Fistful.
fistful of dollars. I think that it more encompasses the whole spaghetti western feel, and I think I think that it encompasses the western. For me, that's the western, and I like westerns, and I like it
I love
because
westerns,
of The
too.
Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
I was never a Western fan, so I never saw any of them. So
You never saw 310 Yuma, the new one?
I saw
they made?
310 to Yuma, but I didn't see any of the Man Without a Name trilogy or whatever they call it.
They're good, and they still hold
Yeah,
up.
they do.
Still definitely hold up.
Maybe I'll
Not
look
as
into
good as
them
Paint
then.
Your Wagon. Clint Eastwood. I mean, the best Clint Eastwood is Paint Your Wagon.
Well, no, actually, the best Clint Eastwood is Any Which Way But Loose.
No.
Any Which Way You Can. One of them's a sequel, so.
So, Jeff, what's your number 5?
My number 5 is The Color of Money.
Ooh.
Sequel to The Hustler. Scorsese directed.
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise in his first, what I consider Tom Cruise's first good job of acting. I mean, yeah, he's playing an asshole character, so he pulled that off pretty well. But, you actually saw some development in his character throughout the movie. Paul Newman won his Academy Award for it, although I don't know if it was Paul Newman's best work, but...
And I think it's much better than the original.
Yeah, I did like it better than the original. I did like the original, but I think...
Well, I'm not saying the original was bad by any means, but I think that it...
And Nine Ball's easier to follow than Straight Pool.
Okay, well, number 5 for me is Aliens. Fuck you all. Moving on. Number 4 for me, Terminator 2. Next. Jeff Morris, go ahead. Go ahead, Morris, number 4.
Morris, number 4.
Morris, number 4. This is one that kind of went against what I said earlier because This is one of those
completely
sequels that
The
goes
exception that proves the rule.
This is one of those sequels that completely changes the original. But the original is Evil Dead. And the one on my list is Army of Darkness.
I was going to say Evil Dead 2 is exactly like Evil Dead.
But campy.
Yes.
And then
yes.
Army of Darkness just goes,
Campy,
just takes camp, and it just goes.
I had Evil Dead 2 on my honorable mentions. Honestly, I'll say I haven't seen Army of Darkness. And I know everyone told me I should, and I'm afraid to watch it because it's not going to be as good as what everyone tells me it is. But I did really like Evil Dead 2. I saw that one before I saw Evil Dead, and I watched Evil Dead, and I went, that's a disappointment.
Evil Dead was good in a gritty, low-budget horror movie kind of way.
Yeah.
And then Evil Dead 2 is completely different. It's like the same kind of story, except for...
camp purposes.
Yeah, it's like if you had a bunch of kids come in, let's make this funny and let's make this funny. It's like Sam Raimi should be making movies. And then Army of Darkness, it's the same thing, but he's like, what if we just throw out everything that has to do with anything in this movie?
He's got a chainsaw.
And let's do a time machine.
And you know what's still
this is my booms, and all those lines from what was it, Duke Nukem?
Yes,
all came from that movie, from Army of Darkness. My name is Ash, and this is my boomstick.
And it still holds up better than all the Spider-Man movies from Sam Raimi, like we discussed.
And that's where I'm here to kick ass and chew bubblegum and I'm all out of gum. That's where that came from.
Everybody loves They Live.
And it's one of those movies that supersedes what the original was. The original was good. It was a good campy, or no, the original wasn't campy. It was a good gritty horror movie, and then he just threw all that out and just went a completely different direction. And I respect that, and it came out really well. And that's why I put that as well.
All right.
Jeff, what you got?
My number 4, I'm going on the comedy end of things with Clerks 2.
Ooh, I thought you might go with that. I love Clerks 2. I love that movie.
I thought you would have that on your list, but you're not cursing me for saying that.
No, I did not put that on my list. It was an honorable mention because I didn't know if I liked it. It was one of my favorite sequels, but I didn't know best. I was kind of going like, okay, really changed the game. It didn't.
Oh, I'm just going with my favorite.
Oh, well, you know. Well, my next 3 are my favorites, so there you go.
Yeah, I mean,
you see what happens when I went with the best, Aliens and Terminator 2.
Oh, yeah. Well, when we get down on my list, later on my list, I'm going to get a lot of hate mail if people think I'm saying it's the best. I'm just saying it's my favorite.
Okay. Clerks 2 is very well done. I like it. I like it a lot.
I wasn't expecting anything from that movie.
No.
I thought it was going to be a mistake that they did it, and I watch it, and it's like, Jesus Christ, the donkey scene alone is enough for admission.
I like the AB when they're dancing to the Jackson 5's ABC. I love that scene
because it's they got Rosario Dawson to be in the movie. Like I've already thrown her name out already at least a couple times.
Your future
during this
wife
podcast. I wish, but. She said that they were worried because the studio told them you need to get at least a big name, and they gave them a list of names, and they're like Rosario Dawson, so they kind of sent a treatment over or whatever, and they're like, well, and then there's this donkey show, and she's like, wait a minute. I'm in just because I need to see what you're going to do with the donkey show. I mean, they were afraid to tell her, thinking she was going to be disgusted and walk away, and she's like, oh, I need to see this. I'm in.
Fun fact about Rosario Dawson, she writes comic books.
Hey, that's a great fun fact.
Yeah, there you go. Well, fuck you all. I'm going number 3 now because nobody better make fun of this because there's going to be more glass thrown then.
Okay.
Toy Story 3.
Not 2. Not 2.
No, I'm looking at Morris. I know Jeff, but I'm looking at Morris. Or as Kevin Smith refers to it as Schindler's Toy Box. My God.
I had Toy Story 3 on my short list and my honorable mentions, but it just didn't make my top 5.
That might be the best saddest cartoon I have ever seen in my life.
Yeah, they pulled at your heartstrings.
When they hold their hands, they're holding their hands in the garbage dump, and they're all going into the lava, which is the pits of hell, basically. They're all holding hands, and they've just given
It's
up.
an incinerator, not lava.
Whatever.
They're not in a volcano, they're at an incinerator.
We're like an hour and a half into it. I'm pretty exhausted right now. It goes back to Pompeii. They were in Pompeii.
I've never heard the reference to Schindler's List, and I
You never heard
like that.
Kevin
I like
Smith does
that.
it. It's Schindler's Toy Box.
I like that,
Because
it fits.
It's really depressing.
Except it's not black and white with a red dress.
What do you think about the red dress, Morris, in Schindler's List?
I think it's hack.
So anyway, back to Toy Story 3.
So it really did pull at my heartstrings. I mean, it's about growing up. I was young when Toy Story came out. I think it came out in '95. I guess I wasn't young. Wait
I
a
was
minute.
young. I mean, what are you considering young?
Never mind. I thought I was younger than that.
No, that was the thing with Toy Story. It was great because, like, my niece was about the same age as, I think, Andy when it came out. So she's the same age as Andy in Toy Story 3. You know, she's going off to college at the same time this movie's coming out. And so, you know, it's like, oh.
It is rough to watch. It is sad. So, Toy Story 3, there you go. This is my number 3. Go ahead, Morris. What's your number 3?
Dark Knight.
Wrong.
Okay, I'm going to say my number 3 is The Dark Knight.
My number 2 is Dark Knight.
Oh, I figured that'd be your number 1.
I know what his number 1 is.
Yeah, he knows what number 1 is. Number 2.
Well, Dark Knight, I think, is the Joker is just a phenomenal character.
Yes.
In that.
Yeah.
And fun little thing is that Heath Ledger was ripped apart online
When he was cast.
As the Joker. Oh, the guy from Knight's Tale, he can't do this, blah, blah, blah. And he knocked it out of the ballpark. So, yeah.
I think he did better than Jack Nicholson.
I think Nicholson was over. I thought
Nicholson was overrated with what he
Yeah.
did. And it wasn't the Joker.
No, it was the Riddler.
It was more of the Riddler, like I always say. I thought Jack Nicholson played the Joker the way the Riddler should be played, and Jim Carrey played the Riddler the way the Joker should have been played.
Oh, God, let's never talk about Jim Carrey as the Riddler.
I mean, like in that movie, like the Riddler was, the Riddler's supposed to be the real smart guy and real cunning and leaving clue, and I mean, he just played it as a guy who was insane, running around making goofy faces.
Yeah.
And like there was no rhyme or reason behind what he did, and that's not the Riddler.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're just doing your own version of the Joker in green spandex.
Yes.
Okay, we're going off on that. Back to the Dark Knight.
I like that scene in The Dark Knight where Alfred was talking to Bruce Wayne and talking about the burglar or whoever who was robbing the town or whatever and kept going out in the forest or robbing people in the forest or whatever. And then later he asked, "Did you ever catch him?" And they asked him how, and it burned the forest to the ground.
Some people just want to watch the world burn. God, that was an awful British accent.
Oh my God, that was supposed to be your Michael Caine? Wow.
I can't make fun of you for Sylvester Stallone ever again, Jeff.
Yeah, until you improve that Michael Caine.
No. Master Brute. Somebody do a fucking British accent around here, please.
I never claimed I could do a British accent.
Some just want to watch it burn. Can we get the Benny Hill music next? Wow, I'm glad I fucked up that story more for you.
All right.
Can we move on?
No, I'll agree with what Morris had to say on Dark Knight. Yeah, I mean Heath Ledger performed that like better than anybody could even anticipate, except maybe director Christopher Nolan, because he made the decision to cast him. But I mean, it was just perfect casting, and not only the storyline. I mean, that's what made me think, okay, this is the Joker. I mean, it's somebody who wants chaos for chaos' sake. I mean, he's not doing this to get rich like Jack Nicholson's Joker. I mean, he's doing it because, that's his ultimate end is just chaos. And, like his story about the burning the village, those are the people you just can't predict.
I liked the bank scene in the beginning.
Yeah.
That was, and there's when he does the pencil trick and he kills the guy with the pencil.
Well, the pencil trick was hilarious.
So, yeah, there's nothing more to say. I mean, that movie is beautiful and quite possibly the most perfect superhero film.
Yep.
It would have been interesting to see if Heath Ledger didn't die, what they would have done with the third one.
Yeah.
Because in it, he says, we're going to do this a lot, basically he tells Batman, Joker does,
Yeah.
we're going to keep doing this, around and around, so you wonder if there was a plan.
Yeah, I don't know if he definitely wasn't going to, I don't think was going to be a major player
Correct.
in the third one. I know they didn't even mention him in the third one. It was kind of out of respect to Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
They didn't even want to even bring it up. But they probably would have mentioned it and maybe throw a scene that he could do a cameo, but I don't think he was even going to be a
recurring
player in the third.
Let's see here. So everybody has that as 3. I got it as 2.
We all did 3.
Jeff, now
Well,
what do you
2,
got?
I mentioned earlier, I had Silence of the Lambs
Okay.
at number 2. Even though I had a trouble trying to figure out, does this really count as a sequel?
I think so.
Because, it wasn't even the same studio. I mean, it really had nothing to do with Manhunter.
I don't think it...
Other than
Hannibal Lecter.
Other than it was based off of the sequel to the book that Manhunter was based off of. So it's not really a sequel to Manhunter. It's an adaptation of the book that's a sequel to the movie. So I wasn't 100%.
The same characters.
It had a.
I think it's viewed as a sequel. I really do. I think it is.
I eventually said, all right, I'm putting it on my list. I put it at number 2. I thought it was a great movie. I'm not sure exactly what I want to say about it. But,
Put the lotion in the basket?
Yes. They're just, honestly, yeah, obviously Hannibal Lecter was so much better in Silence of the Lambs than he was in Manhunter. And
What about Hannibal, the movie?
I never saw Hannibal. I refused to see Hannibal. I did watch Red Dragon, which I thought was better than Manhunter, and that was the same story.
I liked Red Dragon a lot. That was creepy.
Jeff, you got anything to say about that?
About Red Dragon?
Red Dragon versus Manhunter?
It has red in the title.
I'm partial to Manhunter.
I know you are. That's why I brought that up. I remember you telling me you liked that. So I'm like, really? So after I saw Red Dragon, I'm like, I got to see Manhunter because I liked Red Dragon. I saw Manhunter. I'm like, how the hell did he like this? Has he not seen it in 8 years or something? Because
it's been a few years at this point.
Yeah,
I don't remember that clearly, but I do remember really liking it, and I saw it after I saw Silence of the Lambs. But
okay. And I'm just I'm not a fan of Michael Mann. Almost everything he's done, I haven't really enjoyed. So
he's got a distinct style. He
does
a lot of close-ups.
Yeah.
He works with the characters and the dialogue through those close-ups, and it could be boring.
What you got for number 2 there, Jeff? Or Mr. Morris, sorry. We'll do Morris.
The Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, that was my number 1. Seriously, are you just shitting on my whole list tonight?
Apparently that's what we were doing.
But my 2 and 3 are the same as
I know,
but 2 and 1.
Yeah. I didn't put Empire on my list.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Wow.
Mainly because it's one of those, it ends too much cliffhangery that you need the third movie to...
No, you don't.
Well,
you don't need it. The bad guys win. The end.
I didn't know if it ended that way and there wasn't a sequel, maybe I would agree. But I mean, it also,
But I think that was the theme throughout the whole thing, was that I think it could stand by itself. If it were by itself, I think that it could stand and it didn't need the third one. And I think that the reason for that is that the entire theme of the whole thing is that dark, everything's collapsing around you type of feeling. Like at the beginning, they're in this nice snowy base hidden away.
A nice snowy base. They were in the shit from the beginning.
And everything starts to collapse around them, and then they try to get away, and they're stuck. And Luke goes to this crap world and is stuck there because
because the puppet won't let him out.
His X-wing sinks into the thing, and the other people are stuck because their hyperdrive doesn't work, and it's this constant feeling of being stuck, and you think that you're going to get out and you don't, and you think that you're going to get out and you don't, and it's just in this. I just really liked the way that it carried that theme through, and it made this world that the good guys don't always win, and just because you're good in this fantastic world, you're not going to necessarily come out
I'm just going.
Except that in the third movie they did come out and they all
But
won.
you can. The Empire is a standalone. And it doesn't
I
have
think
Ewoks.
because it's part of the thing is the only reason. If it was a standalone, then I probably agree with you 100%. Or even if they just did a first and a second movie and didn't do any more. I think the fact that they did the other movies lessened my enjoyment of that movie.
I just kept waiting for Luke to say, "Come on, Yoda, fucking put the X-wing off." But come on, I want to leave, bastard.
That and apparently like Yoda's advice to Luke, like, well, don't go. You might be able to save them now, or like everything Yoda told Luke before he left Dagobah was the exact opposite of what happened.
Well, yes.
I mean, it's like, well, no, he couldn't save them. Han was gone, and yeah, you're worse off for. You might save them now, and then he went on to destroy, Vader. It's like you might save them now, but you're going to lose in the end. It's like, well, no, he didn't save them now, but he won in the end.
It would have been cool if he did lose in the end of Jedi.
I didn't like Jedi. I didn't
I
like
thought it was
Jedi
okay.
because at the end I didn't buy Darth Vader's character switching because they made him such an effective bad
Correct.
guy
I
throughout
agree.
the rest of it.
I'll agree
He
100%
switches
on
at
that.
the end.
Way
and
too quick.
I don't buy it.
I agree.
I don't buy it at all.
I agree 100%.
And
But
that
now
whole scene,
then the prequels then made me understand. Oh, Darth Vader just wasn't a good bad guy. So the first two movies were actually.
I'm sorry,
bad
I don't
because-
know if there is others. I saw 4, 5, and 6. I'm still waiting for them to make the prequels.
Okay, if you're still waiting for those, then we'll continue.
What's your number 2?
I Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Sorry. My bad, everybody.
Sorry, we did. Well,
I'm
you're-
all flustered here because
because your list has been knocked down.
I'm done. And well, there you go. What's your number 1, Jeff?
Well, my number one, like I said, you have to understand my way of judging movies.
Oh God.
And I said people are going to hate me because no one will consider this a good movie except maybe me.
G.I. Joe 2. I think it's G.I. Joe 2.
Not G.I. Joe 2. Grease 2.
That was on my worst list.
No, it wasn't, because it's the best movie ever made.
Oh my God. It's just silence.
What?
That's not dead air, folks. We don't know what
I
to do.
haven't seen Grease 2.
Oh my God.
I mean, that's the one of the movies that whenever it pops up on television, I can't turn it off. I mean, it's my Michelle Pfeiffer scale. Well, any movie with Michelle Pfeiffer in it is better than any movie without Michelle Pfeiffer in it.
Fabulous Baker Boys?
Exactly. Thank you. I mean, honestly, number 2 should probably, or Grease 2 should probably share my number 1 spot with, unfortunately, that would be Batman Returns, because Michelle Pfeiffer was in Catwoman suit in that movie.
Batman Returns wasn't awful.
It wasn't
I
awful,
hated
but,
it. I hated it.
I
wasn't-
like Batman Returns.
but it had Michelle Pfeiffer in a Catwoman suit, so it's one of the best movies ever made. But Grease 2 has her playing the biker chick, gyrating on top of a ladder while singing Cool Rider. I mean, hey, it's my
With
list.
Rosario Dawson.
If Rosario Dawson was in that way, she would have been a lot older than she is now. Because that was like from 1982.
I don't even know what to say to this. I don't. Yeah.
Oh, I knew and go ahead, throw me hate mail or something for liking this movie, but I stand by it. I'll call it guilty
can't argue, I
pleasure.
haven't seen it.
Oh,
I've seen Aliens
Oh.
and Terminator 2.
I will say, honestly, it pretty much it took everything that people would have liked about Grease and just ruined it. I mean, it is so bad it's good is why I like it. I mean, the songs are awful, but I enjoy them. The plot is stupid, but it's fun. And it has Michelle Pfeiffer. So that's my list.
Morris, please save us. Save us, please. Number 1.
This movie is actually one of my top 3 movies, period, of all time.
If you say Staying Alive, I'm leaving.
I might know where you're going, but go ahead.
Dawn of the Dead.
The original?
The original Dawn.
Okay.
The remake was terrible.
I like the remake.
I like the remake.
I like the remake. I didn't like
Okay,
the
it wasn't
original,
terrible.
but
It was, yeah,
but I
take
knew
that
you
back.
liked the
But
you
the
liked that.
original was just fantastic. And again, took a gritty horror movie and it made it campy, but it didn't just make it campy. It made it campy in a realistic type of way. It's about people who go and they build themselves a fortress in a mall, and they have all the zombies taken care of, and then some biker gang comes and opens it up, and then all the zombies come in, and And there's this scene where one of the biker guys goes into the self blood pressure machines.
Yes.
And of course he's stuck in there when the zombies are coming there and they eat him and his arms just hanging there. And that's the campy part. The campy part is the way that the zombies eat the people. And then there's just the drama of the rest of it. There was actually a shot for shot remake of the movie called Zombie by Dario Argento. And they did the same thing except for he cut it all differently. And it makes it scary and still a good movie. And it's
What about Zombie Baby? Was there a Zombie Baby in the original? There was in the remake.
I don't think it was
No,
in the
there was
original.
not.
I don't think. I know. I was just
No,
kidding.
but the original did have a pie fight.
It did.
It did. It had one of the greatest pie fights of all time. Up there with Dr. Strangelove.
And the Three Stooges.
And that one episode of the Brady Bunch.
Okay, so you have 4. Wow, I am shocked by both number ones. Okay.
And you're not going to talk about the whole consumerism plot line behind
Oh,
it?
everybody knows that. The whole thing was good about it. I'm surprised you didn't like the remake.
I did like the remake,
Okay.
but it doesn't hold a candle to the
Correct.
original.
It paled in comparison.
The original is literally one of my top 3 movies of all time.
Okay. Next is Staying Alive.
All right. Well, that's
Well-
our top 5 sequels.
So, sorry for going long, but, there's a lot of bad sequels.
Yeah, that took a while to talk about.
So, again, you can get Morris's books on Amazon, everything else. We'll put a link on our website for it as well, Facebook page. And so,
History
there
of
you
Bad
go.
Ideas podcast on Facebook.
That's right. And we're at Bad Ideas Podcast on Twitter. So,
All right. So to wrap things up, we got the our bad idea, the history of the bad ideas, bad idea number,
33.
and that would be.
Back to Bates Motel. Never stay at a motel in a movie.
Yeah, anytime you can drive up to the door, you're going to die. You won't even stay at a motel in real life, let alone in a movie.
I will not stay at a motel/hotel that you can access the door to the room from the outside. You have to go through a lobby for me. It drives my wife nuts because they're more expensive.
Yes.
But oh God, no, I can't do it. So that's number 33. And thanks, Jeff, or thank you, Miss Morris, for coming on.
No problem. Glad to come.
Yeah, except for fucking up my top 5. So Roger says goodbye.
Goodbye.